Right.
Whole new
I can
weight.
tell that we have one section left, and I can tell that we are totally going to have to split this into 3 segments. I don't know how I'm going to,
Okay.
but we're going to. So let's go ahead and look at our last set. Oh, let me go ahead and share it. I'm just clicking, like you can see that. It's
No.
the first day Zoom. Uh, here we go. Sheet 7. Sorry. There we go. Oh, such impatience to do the right thing for kids
Mm-hmm.
and grading. I kind of showed my hand on that card set earlier.
Yeah, right. So I think right now, I think districts need to, I think this is a time where our districts need to come out and say what the expectation is for teachers. So if you are an administrator listening to this, have you communicated that clearly to your teachers yet, so that they know what the expectation is? Katie's personal opinion here is that right now grades are not going to be the most important thing. And that we are looking for ways to take people further and deeper than where they were before. And we're going to honor learning over grades right now. I wasn't a big grading teacher though anyway, so maybe unpopular opinion.
I'm gonna back your play on this. I've always thought that we need to minimize grades more than we already do. I get secondary level, we want to have grades because people have tied grades to scholarships. Uh-huh. And it doesn't have to be, because going to college doesn't mean grades. Otherwise, homeschool people would never get to college. And that's not true. That's not true. Right? And yes, homeschool people give grades, but it doesn't have to always look the same. It doesn't have to be a 4.0 grade point average. Now is a time to get to refocus on learning beyond grades. I'm going to go ahead and say this out loud. If any of us have ever passed a class, taken a test, done an assignment that if we were to take again 2 weeks later, what grade would we get later? Okay, so like I've taken lots of tests where I've just like crammed, gone in, taken the test, got the A. Given the test 2 weeks later without any of that same cramming, I'd fail it. That means I didn't learn it. It means I worked for a grade, which I'm a freaking master at getting a grade, right? Doesn't mean I learn it. Now, if we start to shift that, how do we minimize grades and emphasize learning? Well, my kids aren't going to work unless it's for a grade. Right. I hear you. And that's a problem. They need some sort of intrinsic reward developed, not the extrinsic validation that I'm worth it. You know what? You're worth it anyway. Or, yeah, I'm stupid. I'm never going to be smart because I have fill in the issue with what's going on. Because we do that to kids, don't we? Oh, you're not great at reading? You're always going to fail. Oh, I'm really going to have to help you so that you can at least get a C because you're a failure. What if we minimized grading, maximize learning toward kids' interests and strengths? Now we can't stop them. Katie, this is exactly what I said can't, like I'm from Missouri or something. The Ozarks. I'll just say the Ozarks. Y'all been watching Ozark, right? That's not too far from where I grew up, most socially and otherwise. But and my friends from Missouri who happen to watch this, first of all, thanks for coming all the way through. And yeah, I just outed us. So anyway, Katie, you talked about this a little bit before, is working towards kids' interests, their passions, that's what this is. Now again, that's maybe not the first level of conversation. First level of conversation is, this is what we're going to do with grades. Can an administrator, Katie, in your opinion, change policy as they get a couple of weeks in and realize this ain't working?
I think so. I think that they can. I actually heard a friend say the other day that their district, they are not going to be grading everything, and they're going to still tell the kids that they are. And that just kind of threw a little red flag up to me a little bit, because again, now that means our kids only work for grades. And I think humans are so much more than that. I think that this is a time for us to build trust with those kiddos and say, hey, listen, right now, we're not grading anything, and I'm not giving you busy work. But that is not what this is about. We are going to do time to connect. We're going to learn more about each other. We're going to learn more about what you're passionate about, and that we are all in the same playing field right now. Every kid in your district is currently in the same playing field. So no one's getting higher, no one's getting lower, no one's getting any more than anybody else. And in unpopular opinion, the only people that the grading issue might impact at this point maybe are seniors. But even then, I feel like most of our seniors are already at a place in their year where they've made decisions about next year. They've been working on those scholarship applications. Things are going to be stable for them. I could be wrong there a little bit, but at elementary, grades do not matter.
Through middle school. Through middle
They
school.
they are not, I mean, they do not matter. They are so purely, the only purpose of grades in an elementary school are to inform the teacher of what instruction they should still be doing. That is the purpose of grades at an elementary level.
And to feedback.
Go ahead, unpopular opinion.
To feedback to parents.
Right, and the feedback to parents should always be countered with, this is where your kid is at right now, and the decisions I'm going to make forward on instruction are based on this grade. This is how I'm going to respond to that. Grades at the elementary level are purely for teachers. Done. I can get on that soapbox and do a full day training on it. Middle school, grades maybe are the same, plus eligibility for sports. And guess what? We don't have sports right now. So your F list doesn't matter unless you're using it to make decisions about your instruction. So right now, let's put a hold on grades.
I'm going to add here.
Go ahead.
Seniors who are looking at scholarships right now have missed the boat.
Right.
You do this. Anyway, you fill out your scholarships your junior year. And so that's really, it wouldn't affect our seniors anyway. It would affect our juniors. And so then it really doesn't, because they've had grades up to this point. And any college that says, no, you had to, has lost their freaking mind. And they won't.
Oh, can we all put an asterisk on every single high school kiddo right now gets an asterisk on their report card for this quarter? I mean, we're only talking about a quarter of school that's left. So every kid in America right now, every United States kid, every kid around the world that's looking at college is probably in the similar situation. They all get an asterisk on their report card that says COVID-19. And we take out that percentage of their GPA for right now. Don't let this benefit or harm them. Our GPAs were for the first 3 quarters of this school year, and this quarter is non-existent grade-wise. Why can we not do that? I'm not making decisions. I'm not saying that's the way your district is handling it. And this may be unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with that. I've got a lot of those. But could that be a conversation in your district right now? Because we could have a much deeper conversation here when we move forward about what are grades for and how do we truly use them to measure learning and not compliance and comparison. But again, moving on.
I can't move on yet. There are 2 things.
I keep just trying to sip my tea over here, you guys.
Oh gosh, what were those 2 things? They were pretty good, and maybe I'll have to rewind to listen to them. All right, maybe they weren't that important. I think that our grades should be able to benefit now. I think if a kid now in a different environment is able to do better, then that should be recognized, not only for right now, but also for the future. 2, your district has probably already set policy on grade. So if this conversation is coming later and you're starting to think, consider reopening the conversation. See, all bets are off during this time. And if you have thoughtful, engaged, community-wide conversations about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how does this fit why we're wanting to do what we're doing, and what we're doing right now, the evidence shows that it's not working, pivot, pivot, change it. It's okay. Just because we made a policy in a week and a half's decision-making process based on 0 evidence of experience in this unprecedented time doesn't mean we have to live with it forever, right?
Right.
So
I would love to flag this spot right here in the conversation. Go back to where you started. I would love for you to flag this and tag our good friend, Dr. Watson, on this conversation and say, is this an opportunity for us to pivot? Right? What can school, honestly, like what can schools do here? And maybe he would say, no, I've met Watson though. And I feel like he's going to say, we're going to pivot. We're going to make decisions in real time based on real data, based on real kids and real experiences. Number one, if their grades are going to improve in this time, fine. I'm good with that. I like that idea. If new environment kid can improve their grade. I'm going to say that only if the teacher is going to take that as formative assessment of things they need to change in their instruction in the future.
For that kid.
Not
all kids. Not necessarily all kids, right?
Right.
We're talking about
our goal,
kids as people, not as numbers of a classroom.
Yeah. Our goal in Kansas, and I will stand behind this. I remember 2014, I sat in a big group of teachers and thought, oh, something big is coming in Kansas education. And I had no idea where we would have been in December of 2019, let alone where we are right now sitting in March of 2020. I had no idea how incredibly passionate and excited I would be about this, but Kansas is truly, truly poised to be the leaders, the success of each student right now. And if we don't take this as an amazing opportunity to further that mission, we are missing maybe what might be the most critical juncture in education that we've ever had. What an amazing time to be an educator. Boom.
Katie, I love talking with you.
I love talking with you.
I just hope somebody wants to listen to us just because we're a mutual admiration society. I think these were big things. And man, just, we love you guys. And I hope this has been somewhat helpful for you today. We will chunk this and timestamp it. You can just save it and bookmark it forever, because I think there's a lot of good golden truths in here. Also, we should get professional learning development points for listening to this and feedback of where we're wrong or where we're right.
That's what I was going to say. We would love to continue this conversation with you in the comment section. So please, what other questions does this bring up for you? What are you still wondering about? What would you argue against? It is okay to have a different line of thinking. So let's continue the conversation, and we cannot wait to see you next time we have a little bit to say.
A little bit to say.
A little bit.
Bye.